Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So I'm here with Doug
Our
and
channel.
Oh, my channel. I'm here with Doug and Annabelle, and I just realized you could totally see the ring light in Doug's glasses. But yeah, he looks like he has like crazy eyes. But anyways, we wanted to do the much requested Q&A on my channel because we've gotten a lot of questions on every single vlog the past month. And if you guys don't know, I tried to vlog, you know, every single day throughout the month of June. And we kind of like dropped the ball the last week. But anyways, so we wanted to make this Q&A and answer you guys' most frequently asked questions. So I asked you guys on Snapchat to ask me questions. So that's where I'm getting them all from. So the very first one is from Elenia, or I think that's how you say it, Ricker03. She says, have you guys thought more about moving to the South, and did you enjoy Charleston or Raleigh more? Thank you so much for asking your question. I feel like once you live in California for your entire life, like Doug and I, he's from Northern California and I'm from SoCal. I don't know, once we went to the South, we realized like the gloriousness that is California. And as much as we like to both complain about traffic and there being a lot of people, you cannot beat the weather. The weather, no bugs. The job opportunities, what else? The beautiful, like, ocean. What else? There's just so many things. We came back like new people.
The food really stood out for me.
The food.
Yeah. The
activities, things to do. Now, we're not hating on the South. We liked it, like, a lot. We liked Raleigh and Charleston, right? Like, what did you like about them?
I did like the greenery a lot. The, like, change of scenery
was
that was
awesome. Nice.
And Charleston was really fun.
Yeah.
Charleston like looked really cool, and there was
a lot to do,
like Rainbow Row, and
a
bunch of cool stuff. Like the houses looked awesome. Just don't think there's any place like home.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. The bugs were the biggest thing, and we weren't even in like the hot, humid summer. Like we went in spring, so I don't even know if that was the worst like part of bug season or whatever they call it. But the mosquitoes were like full force.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine having to bathe myself in off like every day throughout mosquito season. I mean, we really liked it, but it's just not something that we could see ourselves living in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I hear that like from our friends that are from the East Coast, it's easier to go from the East Coast to the West Coast than the West to the East. But yeah, so we're not planning on moving there anytime soon, at least, unless something crazy happens.
One other thing is that we really think that because we like California so much, we're like super intent or super focused and determined to be able to make it here. Yeah,
like it is really hard to make it in California. Yeah. The houses probably start, like the decent houses, well, not even decent, probably I would say like $500,000 to $600,000 for like a house that you'd still need to renovate. So that's why I say like you have to make it here, you know, with quotes, because that's what people kind of say. It is hard here, but we are determined to save enough for a down payment and get like a house in California. Our dream would be to live, where are you done?
I think San Diego would be really nice.
That's our dream place. Like San Diego is seriously spot on, but I don't know, wherever life takes us, but for now I think we're definitely gonna stay in SoCal probably.
So the next question comes from Pavlin, and Pavlin asks, when do you and Doug plan to have baby number 2?
We both have different answers for this. Douglas?
Why am I always the first one that has to go? You go first this time.
Okay, fine. Okay, so, plan to have baby number 2. Some days, I don't know, every day is different for me. Like yesterday I was like, I don't need a number 2 baby. Like she's perfect. Like why would I want anything different? Like I can't imagine myself loving another baby. And then other days I'm like, oh yeah, I can have, you know, multiple kids. And then other days I'm like, oh man, I dread pregnancy. Yeah. Like I don't want to go through that again. So yeah, I have no idea. That's my answer.
It's such a terrible answer. I'm thinking baby number 2 should be within the next year or 2. I just don't want to put that kind of pressure on Hayley because
he does not mind putting pressure on me.
Hated pregnancy.
It was terrible. I got like a rash. I had nausea for like 4 months. But yeah, I don't know. I want her to have a little friend because I feel like an only child life is like not a life I want her to have. Yeah. Not that anything's bad with it because you have friends and stuff and family, but I had a sister and Doug had a brother, so we know how it feels to have siblings, but I don't know. I just can't even picture it right now.
I know.
It's just not on my radar.
We're not really thinking about it. Easily Enabled, interesting Snapchat name, says, hi Hayley and Doug. If Sweet Annabelle hadn't surprised you, did you have an idea of when you would try to get pregnant? Had you discussed it before it actually happened? That's
a really good question, and I'm very interested to know what you think. When we get pregnant? We never really discussed it.
No, it wasn't really something that...
We were more like worried about the wedding because I got pregnant before the wedding, if you guys don't know.
We didn't really like talk about it all that often.
That sounds
really.
bad.
No, it does sound bad, but we were like focused on just taking our lives one step at a time.
Yeah, like career.
We're like, okay, let's get married and move in.
We were never in a rush to have kids.
No.
Like, I think we for sure would have waited till I was like 26 or 27.
Yeah, probably.
And I had her at 24, so
yeah.
It was definitely a shock, obviously, if you guys watched the vlog. I actually vlogged it. I'll link the video below of the day we found out, and I vlogged like the whole thing. But anyway, it's pretty juicy. But
it's
yeah,
not juicy.
I think it's juicy. I
was
found
just
the footage.
eating ice cream.
I know, he was so calm. But yeah, I mean, it was a good surprise, but I think we would have waited like 3 or 4 years after we were married. Because, I don't know, like when you live in SoCal, maybe it's just us, but everybody I know has kids later in life. Like they establish their career first and get a house. As you guys know, it's so expensive. So having kids like young is not really something that people do out here for the most part. So yeah, I think we would have waited.
Charlotte2195 says, how do you balance your love for each other and your love for Doug? I have a 3-year-old little girl called Lily, and I find it difficult to find the balance of spending time with her, spending time with him, and then spending time as a family.
Yeah.
I love your channel. You are such amazing parents. Love from Blackpool, UK.
I have a really good answer for this. That is gold.
Okay.
We haven't really like started it all the way, but Doug had the idea of starting like a family calendar. It's not like things like, you know, Mother's Day or having appointments or anything like that. It's like scheduling time for yourself and your relationship and your family and your friends and your baby. So like for instance, on our family calendar, which we kind of like just started, but one day out of the month, Doug will have time for himself. So he'll have time to like work on his car or play video games or do things that he used to do before baby, because we don't want to be like the type of parents that just do, I mean, this sounds kind of bad, but I do think it's important to have time for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one day out of the month, I'll take Annabelle and he can do things for himself, and then vice versa. So then he'll take Annabelle and I'll get my nails done or like deep clean the kitchen. Haven't even done that since she was born. It's kind of gross, but that is something that I would love to do, but you just can't do certain things when you have a 6-month-old baby. It's even hard, like baby wearing it's just hard. You have to be able to be free. And then another day of the month, it will be like date night, so a night that's blocked off. I mean, obviously we'll have Annabelle, but we'll try and make it a point to like, I don't know, get ready, look half decent, and go to someplace new. Family day, like go on a picnic or something. So that is something that I feel like you have to plan for when you have a baby, don't you think?
Yeah,
and you can't just wing it. You have to like be structured.
Yeah, and having the calendar sets some like accountability.
Okay, so Doug's getting Annabelle a toy because she's getting antsy, as you guys can tell. But this one is for me. This one's from B Stockton 86. She says, do you plan to work outside the home after Annabelle is older? No, I do not. I actually, well, I don't work full-time because it's, I don't know, it's near impossible to work full-time when you have a 6-month-old and no help. But when she does get a little bit older, I think I mentioned in one of the vlogs, I do want to get some kind of help, maybe like 1 day a week so I can work, because I do work for myself. Before I had her, I didn't go outside of the home either. I make all my money online. So like I said, it is kind of difficult to do that with a baby because it's almost like the more you work, the more you get paid. And you obviously work a lot less because your attention is focused on your little baby. So yeah, I think I do want to get some help when she turns maybe like 1. I don't think I want to get someone right now. I kind of mentioned it, but I just think that the guilt, the mom guilt, would just get me because I don't necessarily have to work. That's just kind of like a choice that I made. Like I want to have my own career instead of just be a full-time dedicated mom. I want to do both because it'll make me feel fulfilled, and I kind of come to terms with that. But I do want some help in the future, but I'm just not sure when yet. Okay, so we put Annabelle in her crib because she's getting cray. So this one's from Kat Wilson 629. She says, what has been the hardest / easiest part about parenting?
The hardest part about parenting to me is like constantly worrying.
Yeah.
Like I'm always checking. It's
okay,
the dumbest thing.
This isn't my. He no, really is a worrier. I am not like that. I do really worry.
I'm like always checking that she's breathing. If she's asleep, like is her windpipe open?
He'll ask me if she's breathing, like if she's literally like on my hip, and I'm just like, he's so paranoid.
Yeah, I'm pretty paranoid.
He's real paranoid.
So to me, that's the hardest thing.
The hardest part for me is trusting my motherly instinct. You guys know if you watch my vlogs, sometimes I second guess myself a lot, and I think it's just like having the first baby and not knowing what you're doing. But everybody always told me, you know, when I would have a question about something, they'd be like, Hayley, you need to trust your mother instinct or whatever it's called. And I'd be like, yeah, what the heck is that? I don't have that. Like, I don't know.
I know.
But now, what?
Well, I used to get really frustrated because I would just ask Hayley stupid questions like, well, is she drinking enough milk?
I know. I'd be like, I don't know.
And I'm like, but you're a mom. Like,
yeah,
you should feel
your
these
mother
things.
instinct. But I just never, I think I doubted myself a lot and I just didn't trust it. But now that she's 6 months, I'm like, you know what? If my baby's ready to eat food and I feel that she's ready, then she's ready.
And then another hard part is me being like,
that's not what the doctor or like, that's not what this person said or whatever. That's not what the website said. But yeah, I'm just like, if she's ready, she's ready. And if I feel like she needs to do something different than everyone else is doing, then I'm gonna do it because I know her best than, you know, better than anybody. But I think that's been the hardest thing. And I'm just now like tapping into the motherly instinct. Like it just hit me the other day that I'm like, no, I'm gonna do what I think is right. So
yeah, and the other day I get a Snapchat of Annabelle touching a banana slice with one finger.
Oh
and
yeah,
like, give her a banana. I'm
okay.
like, what?
I was kidding, but I don't know. And it kind of like goes with the whole like baby-led weaning versus purees. That was like the huge, I don't know, everybody's like telling me what to do. You should do purees because it's safer. You should do this because it's safer or better.
But you gotta
and I'm
tap
just
into
like,
the motherly instinct.
yeah, I mean, you know, like sometimes I'll give her purees. Certain foods I don't feel comfortable, so I wouldn't do baby-led weaning. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna do what I feel is best, and we're just gonna see where this road takes us. The other question she has is it what you expected it to be, and what parenting goals do you have or do you hope to reach one day? Parenting goals, we haven't thought about that.
We haven't thought about parenting goals, but is it what I expected it to be? No.
No.
It's way more
It's like
fun.
a whole new world.
To me,
yeah.
it's like way more fun than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be Hayley constantly yelling at me,
what?
me playing video games,
okay,
and
Doug
sitting there and doing this stuff.
Me. First off, Doug used to, okay, it sounds like he's like a crazy gamer, but before we had a baby, he would like play video games occasionally. And then he was like, I better play him now because once I have a baby, I won't get to work on my car, which is kind of true. I won't get to play video games. All that stuff's true. Like, honestly, you don't really have time for yourself, which is why we made like the calendar. So we expected all of those sacrifices, but we didn't expect that we would want to do them.
Yeah.
Like Doug looked on his Steam account, what was it?
Oh, so yeah, I haven't played games in like 97 days.
And I was like, Doug, how do you know that? But it shows on his like little account when he logged in.
Yeah.
But he didn't even realize it. I mean,
because I've been having fun.
We miss like the stuff that we used to do.
Yeah.
But not so much that we're like depressed about it.
Yeah, I'm not like sitting there complaining like, Hayley, take the baby so I can play video games.
Yeah, or like things like that. I don't know. Yeah. So it's a lot easier and you love your baby so you're more willing to do whatever. So this is a good one and this is going to be the last one. This is from Itsmell87. She says, how do your friends feel about the way you and Doug choose to parent Annabelle? Specifically the whole attending weddings. Did you guys RSVP for 2 people and only one of you went, or leaving early thing because of the Annabelle sleeping schedule? Has a strained relationship with friends? Are they understanding? So I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. When you have a baby, it can strain some relationships if you have certain people in your life that aren't willing to understand or like put themselves in your situation. So as far as like the whole wedding thing, that was honestly difficult because we don't know like how it's gonna be. And if you have a baby, you'll know this as far as like attending and RSVPing to events. This is our first baby and I would not, like with our next baby, I would not have RSVP'd for 2 people if our baby was under like 5 months. Yeah. I would probably just go myself and just say, Doug, like don't RSVP. Yep. But yeah, we did RSVP for all the weddings for 2 people because we had no idea. Like I feel like people have to give us a break because you do not know. Like you see babies at other events and you're like, oh, we'll take Annabelle, you know, because you RSVP like months before. Like we had RSVP'd before the baby was born. So we did not know. We were like, oh, Annabelle will be fine, like the baby that we've never seen yet. So yeah, Doug did not end up going. I mean, he kind of like came and went to the weddings that we went to, but he could not sit down for dinner because Annabelle did not like the noise. Like she would cry at the band playing. And
those are just things that you don't know.
Yeah.
And if you know the people that you're talking to or that are your friends and like they don't understand, they can't just like let those kind of things go, then yeah, it can kind of put a strain on things.
Yeah, and we just keep telling ourselves that we have to have patience with our friends and like people in our life that don't have kids because you will never understand until you have your own baby. Like, so that could be years from now. Like, we don't know when they'll have kids. Nope. So we just have to be patient. And it can put a strain on your relationships if people aren't willing to understand. But everyone out there with babies will know exactly what I'm talking about because you just don't know how your baby's gonna react to a certain event. So that's about it for this video. If you guys liked it, then give it a thumbs up below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you are new. And we will see you in the next video. Bye guys!